Well, good morning. I'm Gary Rutledge, your old History 2483 teacher. That's History to 1877. That goes from the beginning of America's, going from colonies to states. It goes all the way up through the Reconstruction period. If you don't know what that is, we'll be talking about it a lot later. The writing assignments for this unit, as well as all units throughout this course, is really a two-part deal. And what I've done is, instead of having a 550, 600, 700 word summary or wrap up of the chapter, I've shortened the actual writing or the summary of the chapter down, and I've added this little component. We'll call it a scavenger hunt. I don't know if you ever went on a scavenger hunt when you were a kid, maybe at a party or something like that. This scavenger hunt, you don't have to have any preset knowledge before you begin. Like some of those quiz shows you see on TV, like the old days, 21 or $64,000 question. I could never be good at stuff like that. I'm never good at these games you play where you have to, act out whether it's a movie or a book or something, and let everybody guess what you're trying to say. But anyway, you pretend that you're a kid, and you don't even have to go outside or anything for this scavenger hunt. I don't know if you want to read the chapter first or watch the quiz watch the video first. Either way would work fine. You might want to read the chapter through and then go back and click on the video and pick up the hints. You might try it both ways once or twice and see what works best for you. The hints will be probably 4 or 6, somewhere in that range. And what I'm asking you to do is when you play the video, you'll take the hints, the questions, or whatever you want to call them, and then go back and read the chapter or scan the chapter and see what you come up with based on the hints or the questions that I give you in the video. All you have to do is answer any 2 of them, and where it'll be different somewhat with the wrap up or the chapter summary, that's a narrative writing style. I like for you in that particular exercise to just sit down and like you're writing a paper, and it's a little bit more formal. This would be more like an answer the question kind of a thing, which I really don't want you to do with the summary. In this exercise, you call it 1, 2, or call it A, B, or C, or whatever. But anyway, we'll start and see how it goes. The first set of hints, as you read the chapter, see if there's anything in there that would indicate what maybe motivated the Spanish or the English to start pouring into the New World. They had just cruised around the middle of the ocean one day and said, hey, let's bump into America over and see if there's anything worth taking. Or maybe we're just curious. We want to go look the place over. So as you read the chapter, you might be thinking about, was there some kind of motivation there to do it? Were they looking for something? Were they running from something? Someone told them something? I don't know. Maybe they're just out looking for girls or something one day. I don't know. But what does the chapter have to say about what may be motivated? Or maybe there is no motivation at all. I don't know. Like I say, maybe it's just a happenstance thing. Number 2. When the Spanish and French and the English started coming to the New World, what impact did it have on the New World? Did it bring in some kind of new plant life? Or what about animals? What about did it bring a bunch of pigs with them? And from then on, we had pigs or horses or cows. Or what about plant life? What about disease? Does the chapter have anything to say about these kinds of things? What kind of impact maybe in this area did it have on the New World? Thirdly, the Spanish, one of the first to really start looking around in the New World. What kind of influence, if any, did the Spanish visits to the New World have on us today? I know I went to went to a couple of language classes when I was in my undergrad work. You know, I was required to take a language, and I tried to learn to speak Spanish. I guess that would be considered an influence. You might see if the chapter has anything to say about that. I think after 12 hours of Spanish, I couldn't even order breakfast. But, anyway, you might see if the chapter speaks to that. Fourthly, why did they go so far to colonize the New World? That's a long ways to, in the days of sailing ships. They weren't exactly sure, you know, how far it was or how long it'd take to get there. But man, sailing halfway around the world, there must have been some reason to go so far. You might see if the chapter has anything to say about colonizing something or going halfway around the globe to see what you can find that far from home. And then lastly, the fifth thing that I would want to throw out as you're reading on this little scavenger hunt, what was the English interest in the New World? What did they hope to find? Did they hope to find anything? Were they just getting overpopulated and say, hey, let's go dump a few people over there in the New World? But during the 15th and 16th century, they were. It appears that they were expanding for some reason. You might, as you're reading the first chapter, you might see what the chapter would if it would bring any news or maybe inform you of something that might be happening as far as why particularly England would want to come over and establish colonies. You know, there's no expression English like to use a long time ago. They had their empire was so huge that they would say the sun never sets on the British Empire. Well, that's pretty far-flung empire, you know. That some part of it's always got the sun shining. Anyway, those are the 5 things I threw out for this particular little scavenger hunt, and you answer any two of them that you find in the first chapter, and write a small paragraph on each one of them. By small paragraph, I mean 2 or 3 sentences on each of the 2 items that you discover on this little scavenger hunt. There's no penalty for doing more. If you want to write 4 or 5 pages, that'd be fine. But and I'll be glad to read it, and I'll be interested to see what you come up with. But a short paragraph on any 2 will be just fine, and you'll upload it just like you would the so-called wrap-up that we have, the part B of the writing assignment for this unit of work. So good luck, have fun with it, and I will be interested to see what you come up with on this particular hunt. Thank you.